Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An executive discusses the 60th season, new storylines, and other details about DOL's future. According to Days of Our Lives spoilers, there has been a lot of drama behind the scenes lately, which has some fans concerned that the program might be cancelled. As DOL approaches its 60th anniversary in November, viewers are curious about what lies ahead for the program. Thankfully, based on the remarks of one executive, there's some positive news to share. Let's talk about the interview Soap Hub had with Michael Slukin, EVP, current scripted programming and limited series for NBC/Peacock and several NBC Universal programming units. Slukin provided some encouraging insights on Days' upcoming chapter as he was in attendance at an event during the Winter TV Critics Press Tour. The executive enthused about how eager DOL viewers were to support the show on Peacock and help the streaming service succeed. "We're very much behind Days, and the show continues to be a top performer," Slukin stated before thanking the audience for their support. Before the soap opera reaches a significant turning point, Slukin gave everyone the reassurance that they're doing everything in their power to preserve the heritage of the program. Slukin said that they are already recording the 60th season of the show because it tapes so far in advance, and they are happy with how things are going thus far. The executive seems pleased with Ron Carlivati's efforts as the show's head writer and made some intriguing new plot points known. In addition to bringing some throwback moments to remind fans of Days past, the action leading up to its 60th anniversary will keep things moving ahead. Slukin's remarks appeared upbeat on the stuff they're creating and what's coming next, despite the recent scandals and changes. That could indicate that Days will receive another renewal, extending its run long beyond the previously confirmed 60th season. What is your opinion on the show's current state? Would you wish to see any modifications made to Salem? As some major reveals approach, Days of Our Lives spoilers indicate there will be some amazing narrative developments to discuss. Be sure to check in. To prove he's innocent, Xander does the most un-Xander thing ever. On Days of Our Lives, things seem to be going badly for Xander. Once more. Alright, so Xander is used to being in trouble with the authorities and getting arrested. The fact that he is completely innocent this time is novel. He did not shoot Harris, but he did fall for the trap when the enigmatic caller asked him to kill someone. Unfortunately, things aren't looking good for Xander, what with the phone the police discovered and, worse even, the gun that was used to shoot Ava's hidden admirer at Xander's house. Fortunately, Justin is a really competent attorney, scoff, Alex, and it appears he will at least get Xander's release while this is being resolved. In an interview with Soap Opera Digest, Paul Telford delves into Xander's issues, stating that the repentant rogue knew something terrible was about to happen the moment the police pulled out that pistol. Xander thought the arrest may be a misunderstanding, it could be this, it could be that, Telford clarified. However, if a pistol is being planted in his flat, Xander, at the very least, needs to find the culprit. Xander is highly motivated to solve this crime because it will clear his record. It actually starts a fun little storyline that I really enjoyed, where Xander gets to use the spectators' resources to basically investigate and be smart for once. Astute? Tell me not to believe it. Okay, we're kidding, but Xander is actually a smart guy, he just tends to get into problems for silly things. It's encouraging to learn that he will have the opportunity to prove he didn't do anything wrong, rather than just using cunning to avoid responsibility for what he did. Fortunately, he had the ideal weapon to solve this mystery thanks to one of his earlier dirty tricks, the spectator. Telfer hints that Xander basically goes away and tries to work out who set him up and who's framed him. He makes use of the different journalistic resources at his disposal. It was pleasant to not have to wait for the plot to save me, too. Praise be. At last, assuming responsibility for the situation appropriately. Naturally, this isn't the first time Xander has conducted research, so hopefully we'll get to watch him dress up with Sarah once more. Like being said, it appears like Harris won't be waking up anytime soon to put this issue to rest if the plot fails to save Xander. And we can't help but wonder if he ever wakes up, knowing that both Harris and Steve Burton are departing. If it occurs before Xander clears his name, that would be bad news for him. Murder attempts are terrible enough, but cop killer is a level of danger that even Xander might not be able to handle. Xander needs to start excavating right away. Frantically, Trip attempts to preserve a life. Updates and teasers for Days of Our Lives hint at the docks behind the bistro, Lucas Adams's character Trip Johnson desperately tries to rescue a life. Steve Burton's character Harris Michaels is bleeding severely, and Ava Vitale, Tamara Braun, finds him. Trip soon follows, accompanied by Wendy Shin, Victoria Grace, and Stefan DiMera, Brandon Barish. After getting an enigmatic call, it seemed that Michaels was shot by Paul Telfer's character, Xander Cook. The caller was aware of Xander's history as a hitman, and given that he had spent the previous day with Constantine Melioni's, John Capello's, it's possible that he was programmed or the victim of blackmail. Alternatively, Xander had earlier claimed that Stefan had made the call, therefore it may have been Clyde Weston, James Red, hiding his voice on the phone. In that case, it would have been straightforward blackmail. Should it not have been Xander, it was a person dressed precisely like him, even down to the sneakers, who fired 2 point-blank shots at Harris before waiting to make sure he wasn't moving. Harris pretended to be dead until the gunman left, seemingly satisfied, not bothering to check his pulse. Since Ava, Wendy, and Trip had already eaten dinner together, it's possible that Harris had been laying on the ground before they arrived because the bistro was closed when he was shot. It is assumed that Ava is heading to work, and that Trip and Wendy accompany her. When the horrifying finding is revealed, Stefan also shows up for work. Even though it looks like the shots were to the heart, Trip acts right away, doing everything in his power to keep Harris alive until the paramedics arrive. With so much blood lost, Trip is worried that the investigator is losing quickly and might not survive. He is desperately attempting to keep him alive. Trip detests losing patience in the current situation, but Harris is unique as he is aware of his mother's mental frailty and knows how much she loves the police officer. Trip Johnson recalls his mother sobbing. Trip recalls his mother sobbing when Jake DiMera, Brandon Barish, a drug dealer, passed away in her arms, and he worries that it might happen again. When the paramedics finally arrive, Trip stays in the ambulance with Harris and continues to help keep him alive. Ava is ready to leave, but the police soon arrive. Galen Gering's character Rafe Hernandez is inquiring a lot about the shooting and whether or not any of them saw it. Rafe won't be able to learn anything about the gunman from Ava or Stefan because they came after Harris had already fallen. Trip thinks and prays he may save Harris, who was already unconscious and lying in a massive pool of blood. Watching Days of Our Lives is entertaining because of the show's constantly shifting relationship dynamics. However, it does not stop frequently abandoning the characters to their fates. At the moment, Sloan is robbing a newborn straight out of his mother's arms because of her avarice and need for a child. But for how long can she conceal her crime? Particularly since Leo is going to find out and Dimitri already knows. Sloan on Days of Our Lives is indeed stepping on thin ice. She can make a mistake and be submerged in frigid water with no way to escape. Nicole is already certain that her newborn son is Sloan's adopted child. EJ is now open to considering the concept as well. Dimitri, however, poses the greatest threat to her since he vows to sing like a canary and reveal her actions. The most recent spoilers, however, indicate that Sloan will attempt a Hail Mary during the week of December 4, 2023, telling Dimitri that Leo will be freed if he keeps her identity a secret. With hesitation, Dimitri concurs. Since he is half DiMera, self-preservation naturally comes naturally to him on Days of Our Lives. Sloan successfully avoids a bullet with Dimitri and then manipulates the baby's DNA report to turn the tide once more in her favor. She then follows through on her promise to free Leo. Will Leo's release, though, cause a larger issue that she was unaware of?